for joining us on this week's edition of the News in Africa and the World. We open in the Democratic Republic of Congo, where new attacks in the province of Ituri left at least 20 people dead in their wake of Sunday. Once again, this violence is attributed to the Codeco militiamen active in the northeastern part of the country. Among the victims were women, children, and the elderly. 17 wounded were taken to the hospital. The Cooperative for the Development of Congo, Codeco, is accused of the murder of hundreds of civilians this year alone. Benin voted on May 17 to elect the municipal councils of the 77 municipalities of the country. All polling stations have closed and completed the count, a ballot that took place without much enthusiasm because of the risks of contracting the COVID-19 disease and calls for boycott by the opposition. The participation rate remains average, however, noted several observers after counting the ballot in several polling stations. The Autonomous National Electoral Commission, will compile the figures and publish the results, which are not expected before a week. In Rwanda, Felicien Kabuga, one of the most wanted suspects of the Rwandan genocide, has been arrested near Paris, the French Justice Ministry has announced, after 25 years on the run. Mr. Kabuga, once one of Rwanda's richest men, was living under a false identity in the Paris suburbs, the Public Prosecutor's Office and police reported in a joint statement. He is alleged to have been the main financier of the ethnic Hutu extremists who slaughtered 800,000 people in 1994. They were targeting members of the minority Tutsi community as well as their political opponent. The International Criminal Tribunal for Rwanda has charged 84-year-old with genocide and crimes against humanity. Kenyan president announced its borders with neighboring Somalia and Tanzania will be closed as the country continues to battle the coronavirus outbreak. In a briefing, Uhuru Kenyatta said he was imposing more measures after it emerged that 43 cases registered in the last week were coming from two neighboring countries. Kenya's border will only be open to lorry drivers, but they will have to undergo tests before being allowed into Kenya. According to a local media, the president also announced an extension of a curfew by 21 days. As of Sunday, Kenya had 830 confirmed cases of coronavirus, 50 deaths, and 301 recoveries. Out of Africa, India has extended a nationwide lockdown to May 31 as cases exceeded 90,000 and further clashes erupted between police and stranded migrants. Schools, malls, and other public places will remain mostly closed, though rules will be relaxed in areas with low numbers of cases, according to an order from the Interior Minister. Large gatherings are still prohibited, but outside of containment zones with high numbers of active cases, all other activities will be permitted, it said, potentially allowing commerce and industry to reopen across much of the country. India has now reported cases more than China, although deaths remain much lower. The curbs have sparked a crisis for the hundreds of millions of Indians who rely on daily wages to survive. St. Peter's Basilica in the Vatican reopened to visitors this Monday, May 18, after being closed for over 2 months under Italy's lockdown orders to prevent the spread of the coronavirus. Public masses also resumed throughout the predominantly Catholic country, while restaurants, cafes, shops, among other businesses, are all expected to reopen. A handful of visitors showed up observing social distancing rules and were watched by police officers wearing face masks before having their temperatures taken to enter the church. Italy was the first country to go into a full lockdown over 2 months ago, bringing the economy to its knees. The government started lifting restrictions on May 4. In France, 36 French mayors, including Paris and Hidalgo, have urged the government to hold the second round of municipal elections in June. Democracy can't remain locked down any longer, they said, as thousands of municipalities across France are still waiting to elect their local representatives in a vote delayed by the coronavirus lockdown. According to these elected officials, the rapid organization of the poll is necessary because millions of French people are waiting to have a mayor, a municipal and community team in place capable of making crucial decisions for their schools, transport and jobs. The government is expected to decide next week if it is safe to hold the runoff by the end of June after consultation with health experts. We end in Israel, where the parliament has sworn in a new government led by Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu and his former rival Benny Gantz, ending the longest political crisis in the country's history. The new government was set to confront serious crises in its first week, including the economic devastation wrought by the coronavirus and a looming battle over Israel's possible annexation of large parts of the occupied West Bank. Addressing the parliament, Netanyahu said his coming government should apply Israeli sovereignty over Jewish West Bank settlements. Such a move is seen as likely to cause international uproar and inflame tensions in the West Bank, home to nearly 3 million Palestinians and some 400,000 Israelis living in settlements considered illegal under international law. Thank you very much for watching the news on DBS television. Until we meet again, do take care and stay blessed.